All right, Tomo-chan. How the contest ends to remain to remain best friends. All of class has a run marathon. Obviously,
Has
Tomo
to run a marathon.
has to. Thank you, my bad.
That one wasn't typo. That was just
that was
memory.
just me just rushing right through it. All of class has to run a marathon. Obviously, Tomo and June compete, but Tomo passes out from a fever, so June has to carry her back. Through this, though, Tomo finally hands the DS back to June. Super cool moment. The second is super awesome. Flashback about the whole June / Misuzu thing, but also how June and Tomo came to be great friends after a falling out. Also, the ending song is insanely amazing, as it's actually the VAs from the show singing.
I don't know if you knew that.
No,
but
I wanted to ask you, is it the same ending as it always has been,
No, it's
or
new.
is this
It's new.
new?
This is new.
I told Stephanie, I was
Yeah.
like, this is new, and it's for sure from his perspective.
Yeah, it's
Which
really
I was
cool,
like,
though.
this is so cool.
It's- so to me, that kind of made the episode for me, because I thought this is probably the best episode Tomo we've ever gotten.
Hands down, this is for sure the best
by a country
Tomo
mile.
episode.
By a country mile, dude.
Well, I don't know about a country mile, but it's for sure the best.
There were other good episodes. I think this one just really kind of was like, yeah, we're going to be the best one
Carol
here.
cry. That was pretty good.
I mean, that's all good too. I'm not saying those aren't bad, or those are bad episodes. I'm just
Remember
saying this.
Carol brought in the gold brick?
That was great. That's a great little moment on a bad episode, but yeah,
On a bad episode.
that was not an interesting episode.
You didn't like that episode?
That was the birthday one. No,
Yeah, dude. Isn't that when they make her like doll her up and then she goes and then June doesn't even know it's her and talks?
Yeah, exactly. But but that led to nothing. That led to like us kind of finding out
That literally led to her the next episode being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't tell him I love him right now again.
That was the same episode?
No, that was the episode after, but I'm saying
That's all, oh yeah, but
it was because of that conversation she remembers the convo.
In that episode as a whole, that episode wasn't interesting because it had that, you know.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying, like if I want to evaluate those episodes together, then yeah, there's a bigger storyline there that probably connects more. But that episode by itself was like, whatever.
Okay, I get you.
Now, this episode we just watched, Stop Bitching,
sorry.
Sorry, that was mean.
That's okay.
This episode's awesome. This first half with this marathon was just like, I was like, what are we doing here?
Why? What?
Well, because I was like, okay, we're just competing. Like, and then
Dude.
when she, let me finish. My God, let me finish. When she collapsed, and he had to carry her, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, he just trounced her. Like, he was just better than her in this whole moment. Like, she couldn't keep up with him.
Well, she got sick, I guess, because
her
whole thing was that she ran like, I don't know, like hours last night.
4 hours at least. At least
like,
4 hours,
did you
3
run?
hours.
And I'm like, dude, so real quick before we get into the actual good shit, when they're like, all right, go. And then like Tomo and June are just like, fucking take
Sprint.
off, and then everyone else is like running, but then you have Carol and Misuzu just like walking, and I was like, that was me in high school. And they're just like, at least run in the beginning. They're like, okay, fine, and then they run and then they start walking again, and I'm like, yeah.
And it's ironic because in class when I had to do the run, I actually finished first place.
I believe it.
So I was June.
You were fucking like badass.
I just ran.
What happened? No,
I got really ugly.
No, that's not what that means. You're very pretty.
Oh, thank you. No, I just stopped running. I actually stopped running like a year ago, though.
Yeah, you did.
Mostly because
Is it COVID?
What?
What?
Oh,
it's
no.
like it's a COVID?
No. It's expensive and harmful to your body over time. So
it's expensive. You have to replace your knees.
So shoes can cost. If you want to run healthily and preserve your body, you're paying over $200 for a pair of shoes, and you're supposed to replace them every 3 to 6 months.
Dang.
In any long race, after you run them in a long race, you're supposed to replace them. Apparently, to fully maintain your feet while doing long distance running, you have to be buying shoes constantly or replacing soles with like really quality soles that cost a lot of money too. And then on top of all that, like your knees are getting impacted overly no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be protecting them more with, your shoes, hopefully, but your knees are going to be higher impacted, which gives you a higher chance of ACL tears, of ligament tears, of sprains, of any dislocation, obviously there too. It's not as like healthy, beneficial as it probably should be, and you're much better off running.
It's almost like our bodies weren't made to just constantly be running.
Not anymore. If we had,
Not anymore.
if we had,
you think in the prehistoric days when we're not running from everything all the time.
You're talking about if people, the shape of people's bodies from like 5,000 years ago to 2,000 years, whatever it is. Not even prehistoric. Like
they were fat.
The Greek, like the Greeks back in like those like Roman times, like those people were like monsters in terms of physical strength.
That's because the Spartans were monsters.
Those are Romans, not Greeks, but yes.
Spartan is Roman?
No, Spartan is Greek. You're right. Spartan's Greek. Romans are centurions. My bad. You were right. I'm dumb. But all I'm saying is, though, those people were way more.
Also used to kill weak kids. So there's like it's a much different world than it is now.
That's not the argument. The argument was, were we more able to do this stuff that like running like that?
Yeah, I guess.
At a different time. Then yes, we were. Like sure, they killed kids back then. There's a lot of other things they did that were that were also bad. Not much worse, I would say, but. Because I think killing kids is probably the worst you can do. But there was a lot of other problems that were there, and that's
of course
not what we're talking about so much.
What
I'm saying is that people were more in shape in those olden times than we were now.
Yes.
Like there's no debate there.
Yeah, there's a debate.
I mean, no, there's not.
Robots.
No. Well, okay, so
AI,
technology, sure, but
I hear you.
But like processed foods,
that's
talk about fast Taco Bell, which I ate today.
God, Taco Bell's.
Like, there's no way we're close to that.
No. Okay. Anyway, back to anime. Or to your point, do you have another point?
No, actually, I don't. All I'll say is I really like the. Well, I guess we probably should move on past this
running
weird sports deviation.
We're talking about,
but
running.
Let's talk about the DS being handed back.
Okay, because that's super.
That's very important. It's like because I thought it was gonna be an actual.
It's almost more important than when Tomo's boobs touch his back, and then he goes, "You've grown too."
Yeah,
and I was like,
"No, he says you've also gained some weight," but he says it quiet enough.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Which is like the wrong way to say that.
Yeah,
by the way,
definitely the wrong way to say it.
Don't never tell a girl you gained weight. That's a dumb thing to do.
Gained weight where? In your bluebies.
Breastises. But what?
Tiggies.
No. Sorry. Come on.
Yeah. So the DS is handed back.
Yep.
And it's a moment that I felt like I feel like they did a really good job. Kind of like, again, it's kind of been like goofy play, and then of these last few episodes have been a lot more serious. And I think you're right. I think they might be doing the whole thing, right? Like that's really what it feels like now.
To me, it feels like this show should end after
soon.
This. It should end after this season. Like it
for sure.
Like I don't know.
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just gonna ask. Do you think Misuzu is gonna get together with the goofy guy?
Yeah.
You think so?
That, or she'll tolerate him to the point where like she accepts him. She accepts him to be near her.
Yeah,
and that's dating Gundo right there.
Yeah, and that's like the step towards of like they're like okay, the innuendo of that's what's probably gonna happen.
I not to crush the whole Tomo Misuzu thing, but
no, I think I'm crushing it too.
Yeah.
I think it's not there. If they were gonna do that, it would have been this episode.
It would have had to have been it would have had to have been this episode.
I will
this was
say
a flashback episode.
A little weird to me, but maybe I was reading into it that was some of the things that they did that there wasn't like the only thing that I think if they don't address would make this show like lesser for me is the fact that she's like, oh no, like what did I do? Like I should have done blah 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 blah. Because again, I feel like that can just because that can be just misconstrued in so many ways. Like I guess
sorry, wait, what was that word you said?
Misconstrued.
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 Got okay. You said misdroid, and I was like, wait.
Did I say misdroid?
Well, that's what I
like
heard.
That. That's a better.
That's what I heard, and I was like, I don't know what you're implying or saying anymore.
She is misdroid.
So she misconstrued. Yes. Well, I think she answered that in that episode. That's
you think she
but that's
did
the argument right there, right? It's like I think she answered that.
That's okay. If that's what it is, then that's what it is.
But that's how I interpreted it. I could be wrong. It's fine. But that's I think the debate there is like, did I interpret it right or wrong?
Right.
So,
but what do you think about? So when Tomo hands it back, and then like June,
it's really cordial.
Like, accepts it.
Yeah, and they don't give us like that. The segment ends there, right? And so like they only tell us what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
But his expression says like, I accept this.
But you know what's funny?
But
they do tell us what's in his head.
What does he say?
Just in the outro song.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what's kind of interesting. I feel like, but yeah.
So there is that to talk about, and we can talk about that. But like in that moment, all we see is June accept, and you're like, okay, well, that was really anticlimactic, to be honest. Like it made sense, but also like him just accepting it like that. after winning on a technical. Like, I don't see how he could accept it personally. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't win in a direct competition. He won because she got sick.
Well, I think what it has been for her and for him, like she's literally said multiple times, like he's already stronger than me. Like, remember that host was like, he's already stronger than me. Why isn't he gonna take this back? And I think this moment when they were like, hey, he carried you back. He act like. And then especially when she was like, I loved the scene when she was just like, they're like, milk it for all it's worth. And she's like, I want, like, let me do it again. Let me do it. I guess that's when he says, hey, you've grown. Or she's like, whatever. So I don't know. Like there is like this like kind of like interaction. It's stuff. I don't know, man. I really liked the fact that when she gave it to him, he was kind of just like, oh, like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. And then she kind of explains a little bit of like, hey, I already think that you've been strong. Like, you've earned this like back. And I think that he's honestly probably kind of thinking that to some degree too. Not like I'm better, but kind of Tomo acknowledging him, even though this one thing was a technicality, I think almost made him kind of go, oh. And I think that's even explained a little bit more in the next episode.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. So.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the next episode?
Talk about that next episode, baby.
Okay, this is a big flashback episode. I didn't know I needed it, but I'm actually really glad we got it because...
Dude, it makes the relationship make so much more sense.
Like, the relationship felt so ancillary and bullshit when they first announced it, and, like, they used it as, like, a cliffhanger thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, we were like, oh, wait.
Really
that's
weird.
Literally it. And that's not fulfilled on until this episode.
Yeah.
And it's bizarre. That
I wonder if it was written that way or if they wrote it in a way that it had this, but then when the director or whatever of the anime was like, oh, like it almost feels like legit, like this person wrote this whole story and then they were like, what would make a good TV show? Okay, we're going to take some of this, we're going to take this, and they kind of like mixed and matched it. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if that's what happened because I didn't read it. Guess what? Probably not going to, especially if this wraps up everything. But I am really curious if that's what it, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels very kind of like, oh, this goes here and this goes, you know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't feel super concise until now. Now it feels concise.
But that's like the argument of like anthology versus straight storyline right there, right?
Yeah.
Like, and like we've called this an anthology anime multiple times.
Yeah.
And this is the moment where I think that probably flared up a little bit, but I think this is leading to something which would be
kissing.
I would push away from the anthology a little bit more, and be like, oh, this is actually just a genuine romance anime, with segments like Komi, you know, because Komi has what.
No, keep going. I keep interrupting you. Sorry.
Well, no, I just don't think like it wasn't very romantic for the first like 4 episodes and 5 episodes, and now it's like every episode there's just insane tension. Whereas previously we just saw this one-sided Tomo tension, which meant nothing. Right?
Yeah, well,
but
so
as they've revealed more of June, like it feels like it's just like it's a path leading to that. Like they're just showing us the scenes that slowly reveal emotions about them.
This show, I think, could have been a type of. So this is, hold on before you jump right in at us and attack. This could have been kind of like Fruits Basket in the way of if they would have taken their time with every character, because I want more of the funny, goofy guy. Like, I want more of June. I want more of their history. So if this show is really about that and went into that, or even like Golden Time. I was thinking Golden Sun. I was like, that's not it.
Great game.
Yeah, I know. It's about to be on.
Metroid
I
Fusion's
know,
on there,
dude.
and I'm like,
did you play it yet?
I've beaten that game like 4 times. I'll play it again, I'm sure.
Oh,
but
okay.
I love that game so much. Go on.
But like, I feel like because this is a shorter and somewhat rushed story, and I'm sure the manga to some degree, especially if they're like 1-panel chapters, is kind of like that too. They might have been taking fluff out that maybe had some kind of story in it.
I don't think the characters were written that deep.
Well, no.
Like,
no. I'm not saying that they are. Like, I'm saying that there's potential. That's all. I'm just saying that there's potential, because sometimes there's like goofy comedy anime show or like romance comedy that you're like, no, I don't need more. I don't need whatever. Like, you know.
I mean, I guess, and in response to that, I would say, yes, it could have been a different manga, but what I mean? Like, it could have been a straight-laced story that's like chapter by chapter, but it never was that, you know?
Yeah.
And so like,
but this is what I'm saying, dog.
I mean, it could be that, but that could be like My Hero could be that too. If My Hero was drawn back.
It is. You didn't finish it? I just finished the whole thing. He sent it to me.
Okay.
It's actually a love story. The last 20 episodes or chapters is just a love story.
All I'm saying is like, yeah.
They don't even conclude what's going on.
But it's okay. Shigaraki, turns out he's the main love interest.
He's actually, dude, yeah.
He's the officiant of the
him
wedding.
And Bakugo actually, Deku dies.
Deku dies. He passes on one for all to the weird bunny chick. The bunny girl.
Oh, the bunny. Dude, that would be
bunny girl.
sick.
The furry he rescued.
Oh, the furry. She had to repurpose. No.
I don't know what her quirk is, but I think it's just furry.
It's literally just, I'm an animal person.
Yeah.
Why did they? Anyway.
So is Mirko, but Mirko's badass.
Yeah.
Anyways, all that
I have to say is your complaint is that it's kind of one-sided, kind of goofy,
no, that's
or whatever.
Complaint.
And then now it's a love story.
All I am saying is there's been a progression from the romance being kind of like not serious on one side, just Tomo, and then as the show's going on, the primary point of these segments I feel like has been to reveal more of June.
Yeah,
and show us more of June while Tomo's dealing with these awkward tensions and having her own little bits of growth here and there. To be honest, Tomo hasn't had that much growth, and it's okay. She's really only had that moment where she's like, yeah, I guess I'm not gonna blurt my feelings out, you know.
I'm not gonna blurt.
Right, but like
right.
I think all of that just to say is that I think the flashback being this late in the show does work very well and makes sense why it's here.
Yeah.
I know that was a huge deviation to that point.
It was. But that's probably mostly my fault.
It's okay. It's probably mostly me for not.
But I will say this before we move on.
It, so.
I love the pacing of this show now. I actually really enjoy the fact. No, I'm saying I've liked it from the beginning. Looking back at it now,
I love it now.
I'm saying right now, looking back, I love the fact that it is more her side, and it's kind of like this goofy thing of like, I wish she would just acknowledge me as a woman. What the hell? I mean, it's not that.
What the hell?
What the hell? I'm gonna beat his ass, and then she does, and so like, it's weird. This dynamic of her kind of, it's like all about her, and then what you're saying now is we're getting glimpses of June's side all throughout, a little bit throughout, and now we're getting more and more because I think what it's almost doing, and this might be giving the show way too much credit, but I think what it's doing is it's literally like we are kind of getting the feelings that he's getting as he's getting them, right?
Probably.
So it's like this idea of like, yes, he's always liked her. Yes, he's always been infatuated by her, or like, I mean, again, looked up to her.
He's been infatuated by her.
Am I saying weird words?
Infatuated with her?
Infatuated?
No. What are you trying to say?
Infatuated.
What is?
Isn't that a word? Infatuated is like you desire. You're like, wow, you're beautiful and amazing.
I know
and
that
I want to be around you.
I'm a stickler for words. Sometimes it's infatuated, not infatuated. But
suck a fat big old
I don't think
butthole.
He's infatuated with her because infatuated is just like you're obsessed with their looks. Basically, it's like not very. It's not very
okay,
deep.
then that's not.
I would just say he's in love with her.
Yeah, he's in love with her.
So.
But I do feel like again, as he's becoming more and more.
I am that petty sometimes, guys. I'm very sorry.
Everyone fucking boo this guy.
I married someone who's also very pertinent about words, and so I tend to.
You gonna blame her now?
No, I rubbed off on me, and so like I want to be particular with my words a lot of the time, and
that's cool.
And so when I hear you say effectuated, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what that means, That's all.
You can effectuate yourself.
I don't know what that means. I think I don't know what that means at all. You have to do that. Okay. All right. Let's
okay. Anyway,
really quickly, loved the second half too.
Yes.
I loved how it made that sense that like Gundo and June's relationship was both a product of trying to move on from Tomo or trying to figure Tomo out. So like even them dating wasn't even about them dating; it was about Tomo.
Yeah.
Which as everything is. So I like that like there was a period of time where Tomo and June weren't friends. Because
super interesting.
Yeah, because of this like weird division of like.
I also love how he didn't know she was a girl.
Yeah, that's hilarious. After he punched her into the dojo and knocked her out, right on the ground.
So good.
And then
I was like,
yeah.
Now wait a minute. I also love how this has to be more of a Japanese thing because it happens a lot. It happened in
Komi Can't Communicate.
Komi Can't Communicate too, with like the guy who's a girl, or maybe it's a girl as a guy. I don't know, like you know what I mean, like the kind of like I don't know what you would call it, but just the whole because like when Tomo comes up to him in a dress, he goes, "Wow, you're really like trying not to do a new thing, huh?" Like, and I'm like, now wait a minute, if we were like buds, and then you came in as in a dress, or like me, you'd be like, Wait, why are you doing that? Like, why are you wearing? The question would be like, why are you wearing a dress right now? Not, wow, you're being. You know what I mean? It's like people are just like, oh, what are you doing? Like that's like, yeah, I don't know. It just felt like.
I mean,
weird.
there's cultural differences.
That's fine.
I think it's way less accepted in Japan though than it is here.
You think it's way less accepted?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. And if we're talking about like gender,
I feel like I see it more. But how come in all of these, it's like, sometimes the guys are the hottest girls ever.
I mean,
does that make sense? You know what I mean?
You
Like
mean
Felix,
guys?
Yeah, like Felix and ReZero.
That's not a common thing though. Like that, you're not going to see that all. I mean, like there are people that are doing traps, quote unquote, like that,
yeah,
right?
There's a lot of traps, my guy.
But like, it's very. It's not seen as remotely okay as it is here. Not even like Japan's a very conservative society. Like
on the frontal lobes, they're freaky, baby.
Yeah, everyone has their pockets of society that are more open, right? But like, if you're telling me the U.S. is more closed off to gender fluidity or what if binary, whatever words you want to use.
I guess that's not what
Japan
I'm saying.
is.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm more so saying
cross-dressing
like,
is what you're saying, or
yeah, I guess it's more so. I guess what it is you're right. Like, from the Japanese perspective of being more like conservative in that, it feels weird when they do that in their shows. And I'm as in like the guys are like, oh, like that's like a normal thing that their friend would do. Yeah. Right. Like their friend would just show up like that, and there's like, oh, you're trying too hard. Like, what does that mean? What does you're trying too hard mean?
Honor-based societies, when you appear outside the norm, then you tend to get associated with dishonor.
I mean, shit,
right?
baby.
So,
I rocked a poodle skirt for a long time.
I'm not here to make an argument about social political stuff, but it's just different.
Well, me neither. That's not what I was trying to do. My bad.
Derail. No.
That being said,
my bad.
Tomo is a girl.
Tomo's a girl.
And she's a cutie, patootie, and she can fuck you up.
Let's do comments.
And that will mean other ways than fighting soon. He didn't want to talk.
Sorry.
He didn't want to comment on that one.
Sorry. I literally got an email in the middle of you saying that, and it was from work, and I was like, oh, shit, what just happened? And
shit. You're telling me you're fucking off the clock.
No, I'm never off the clock.
Yes, you are.
I'm salaried.
That doesn't matter.
You're always on the clock.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Small business, man. You don't really have the same freedoms.
You do. It's your legal right.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Phoenix Flame Uwu. I'm insanely in love with the ending song. It's just so catchy, and I love that the VAs are the ones singing it.
Yeah, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, it's incredible. I was very impressed by that. I think it's in contention in what's the word? It would be in the talks for best outro of the year, I think.
Yeah.
I was trying to get that phrase out, couldn't get it out. But
good.
but the way that this song capitalized on the plot of the episode and like the continuing tone that they've been building for the whole series is just really, really good, man. Like, it's a really good outro. That's all I want to say.
I agree.
Gold One God. Tomo-chan is a girl?
Tomo-chan is a girl?
Yeah. Danira Nashi.
Dude,
welcome.
how can you not tell?
What? I don't know, because Jun's dumb. Danira Nashi, welcome back to the show. With this and The Angel Spoils Me, this season is without doubt the season of peak rom-com. And I only brought that one up because I wanted to watch The Angel Spoils Me. I want to figure out what that is, because that apparently is also a current one being released right now that's also really good.
Interesting. Okay. I'm always down for a good rom-com, honestly. Like, when there's good ones, like, that's like honestly peak anime right there. Because there's no real... I mean, that's just sad as fuck, because then those are, like, really good, right?
Yeah.
Like Fruit Baskets, Golden Sun, God damn it, Golden Time. But I think, like, the kind of goofy ones, like, what's the one with the girl that wears an eye patch? Everyone, that's probably limited. It's like a white eye patch. She has, like, black hair with black ponytails, and then she thinks that she's, like, in a secret society or whatever the fuck. Have you ever seen that?
No idea what you're talking about.
That one is great. There's not a lot of stakes. It's cute. It's fun. It's funny.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I mean...
Just kidding. I don't even know the name of it. Check it out, guys.
I don't know if Tomo-chan is on the level of Golden Time and Fruit
No,
Basket.
it's not. I'm just. Those are top tier.
Right. Those are like untouchables.
Those are untouchables.
Yeah.
Those are like April, another untouchable.
A little bit lower, but it's also good. I don't know if I'd call it untouchable. I would call it.
That's fair.
I think it's really good. I just also.
Yeah, I don't want to put it on with Fruit Basket to me.
I just really feel
and Golden
like
Time too.
if that was high schoolers or young college, I'd feel like a lot more like connected to it. But because it's junior hires,
it's junior high.
yeah, they're junior hires.
Well, now you ruined it for me. I thought they were in college.
I'm always like, well, they're so young, and I like also she's dealing with a lot of stuff in her life, but they're so young. I don't want to spoil anything, right? That was almost bad. But like.
She's so young, and
no, everyone's so young. Like they're all like 11 or 12, and they're all like child prodigy musicians. That it's a little unbelievable, but it's also an amazing story that's like beautiful, and there's a lot of heartbreak, but also a lot of joy in it.
Yeah.
All right,
read the fucking next one.
No, the last comment right here. Mark or not, the ending got me ascending to Pluto. That's it.
Like in Omaro?
Omari doesn't go to Pluto.
But Pluto is your boy.
Omori. Omori beats the shit out of Pluto.
Yeah, it's real.
That's what happens. All right, let's move on to the next anime.
What would you rate it, bitch?
Like 9.5, 9.
I'm a 10.
Yeah.
Tenner.
I'll draw it in the middle, 9.25. Yeah.
10 for me, my guy. It was great.
You are super happy about this one.
I was.
What is next? Is My Hero next?
My Hero's next.
My Hero's next. And I'm reading My Hero.
Burn to My Hero.
I'm reading this one. Shit, I wasn't even ready for that.
Read me a story about some heroes.
My Hero Academia, Deku vs. Class A. Well, our match officially begins. Despite Deku clearly being stronger than any of them individually, Class A is able to keep up with Deku and continually berate him with how he's helped them become better heroes. This all culminates to Bakugo bowing his head and apologizing to Deku. However, with this, Deku collapses, and Bakugo catches Deku. They head back to UA, and now begins the difficult battle of Class A, convincing the general public seeking refuge at UA that they're better off with Deku there. That was a long sentence.
That was really long.
I hope I wasn't spoiling anything too much last week. This didn't turn into like a straight up brawl, right? Like that wasn't what this was. Is the first comment hilarious?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I saw the same fucking thing. Say that one thing you just said again.
So I was trying not to be a spoiler last week, but
right.
This was not an all-out brawl, right?
No.
This wasn't Deku trying to beat his class. In all reality, it's Deku trying to run away constantly, and the class keeping up with him. And I thought that the way this was done was the best episode of the season so far. No
way.
No way.
No, the first like 4 episodes was fucking awesome.
The invasion start.
Yeah, the whole thing with like the villains like just fucking causing like just insane amounts of damage, and then like actually seeing heroes do real hero jobs instead of fight some bandits in the street or something was like, okay, like we're getting to like some real shit. And then ever since then until 2 episodes ago, it's been kind of like, okay.
You didn't like this episode?
Okay. And then this episode, I did like. I, again, am still just not in love with the fact they're just bringing him back to school. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, literally, they're like, and I know because I saw the preview of next week. Where like, what's his girlfriend's name? I know it's not his girlfriend, but just what's her name?
Ochako.
Huh?
Urarara Ochako.
Ochako
yeah.
is going to be like, I need to speak up for Deku. He's done so much. And I'm like, fuck, I don't give a shit about your speech. Like, unless it's really good.
Do you
Maybe
just
it's
want
really
action? Is that all you want?
Look, right now, yeah, because this show has been like, hey, guys, guess what? There's a great evil, and it is lurking. And then Deku's all on his own. And then guess what he needs? He needs friends. And his friends come and show up, and they're like, we're not leaving you. You know what would have been fucking cool? Is if they're like, we're not leaving you. Let's all be vigilantes. And then they all go and do that shit together. Instead, they're like, let's go back to school and learn. And it's like,
no, they don't want to learn.
I know, but their whole thing is, we want to graduate, and I can fucking see it now. I can see them graduating
I mean,
all together, or maybe Deku dies. I can see
this
happening.
episode,
I can see Deku dying.
They do,
and like they're gonna graduate with a big old plaque, or maybe he has a fucking statue of Deku instead of All Might now, and that's how they fucking end it. And then some little kid's gonna be looking up at it like, I could be that too, and then it's fucking the next thing. This has become not as fun of a show for me.
I don't understand that entirely. So first off, Class A going out to become vigilantes isn't realistic, nor would it even make sense in the story.
Why? They want to be right by their boy. They want to support him.
Yeah, but the whole argument of like bringing Deku back is that it's safer to have...
The mouse is the biggest bad guy.
It's safer to have Deku at UA than have him going out doing it by himself.
Fuck.
All I am saying...
Holy shit.
It's safer...
Hold on. I have thought that the mouse is a bad guy for such a long time, but they have not shown him at all. And if he's a motherfucking bad guy and he's like, let's just bring Deku in here.
Principal, you're saying?
Yeah. Why the fuck would you bring him in here? Literally the whole city or the people who are like, why are you going to bring the person that All Might wants around us civilians?
All Might?
Well,
all for one.
All for one.
Okay.
and people, you guys knew, right?
Well, so again, they all believe that it's safer for Deku to be in there than out.
Who? The mouse.
Literally everyone in the class and the mouse. Yeah,
the mouse does because he convinced them to do it.
The kids convinced the mouse to do it. The kid. That's literally what he says. He says, "My kids have convinced me that we need to bring Deku back." So that's literally what the principal says.
Easy story. Honestly, this is a Jar Jar Binks saying, "Look, if you fuck this up and don't make him a bad guy, you fucked up big time. Because that would have been so cool." Jar Jar Binks being a Sith Lord would have been cool.
No, but that would have been so lame.
It would have been cool, but we fucking hated him so much that, of course, it's not cool now.
Misa's gonna force choke you.
Look. They should not have done that shit. That's really what made it horrible.
What?
In his whole the speech of the Gungans or whatever.
No. We're done with Jar Jar. We're done with Star Wars. Back to me, this episode worked perfectly. To me, this all made tons of sense. I don't understand the view of well, if the school believes it, if the leaders believe it, if the kids believe it, everyone believes it, and if it makes total sense to the audience, I don't see why it'd be bad to leave.
I think you said that the audience is split on this one.
That's not well. Let's the next episode play out, and then we can talk about that because
he leaves again.
No, there's something else. There's more stuff that's happening.
They kiss.
No, there's more stuff that's happening, and I will tell you. Well, you'll know.
I cannot wait for next week when the president is bad guy and literally opens up. Everyone's like, "We're protected behind these fucking amazing walls," and then the president's just like, "You're not, bitch." And then it's literally that comes down. All for One just kills literally every single civilian. It's literally Deku's fault that they're all dead. It's his fault, 100%.
All for One's not ready to do anything yet.
Okay, then his lackey Stain comes in and just farts fuck. And no, that's not his MO to kill civilians either. Fuck.
Oh, so the show's communicated something to you there, right? So you understand something because the show told you effectively.
What
so
else?
It makes
what
sense.
What are the bad guys? This is the guy. The guy with the teeth goes.
Moonfish.
Moonfish comes in and just fucks everyone up because he would. So that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to do is bring out Tokoyami again, and Tokoyami can one-shot him one more time. So that's what happened last time.
But he's grown in prison. He's probably done at least a few push-ups.
Tokoyami's grown in school. I don't know. Tokoyami can fly now, dude. He's not even close to what he was. That is
fair. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
you've read it, but you're right.
I thought this episode was amazing. I thought they pulled out all the stops for this episode. The animation peaked up in the
animation was good.
Remember that TikTok I sent you yesterday with Yutaka Nakamura? It was good animation.
Good animation.
We got so many callbacks to previous episodes.
Which was cool.
Which is
it was a little bit repetitive.
Well, it was we need to get through everyone's conversation here, but it's this is not realistic. But anyways,
I'm not going to lie to you. After this second or third one, I was like, guys, please don't fucking do this for every single person.
It does it for the whole episode.
Yeah.
It's the whole episode.
And then it did. That's another reason it wasn't.
That's the only complaint I have is that it just feels bloated a little bit because of that, But Naruto's a bummer a lot of the time because all the side characters get really sidelined, right? Okay, you can't tell me that Shinobi is as interesting as he is in Shippuden as he is in the first one.
Who's that one again?
The bug guy who gets sent to chase after Sasuke with Naruto. Those four guys, Shikamaru, who gets good screen time and then totally ignored for most of the rest of the show outside of being a tactician in the sidelines. Not even being like that. Well, he's useful, but
I was gonna say he's actually super useful.
but Choji's only use is in the war.
Fuck Choji. No one likes Choji.
Yep. And who's the third teammate in that? Ino's only use is in the war, and then it's done. Like and they're like they're fighting side villains, dude.
Who's Ino?
Ino's the girl with the half shirt, the purple shirt, with the long blonde ponytail. She also likes Sasuke.
Well, they're not from the Hidden Village, so of course, who gives a fuck about anyone who's not from the Hidden Village?
What does Rock Lee do in Shippuden? Next to nothing.
That is true.
You know?
That is. I'll give you 100% on that one.
A lot of the side characters in Naruto Shippuden get really sidelined, and part of that is because Naruto and Sasuke become so powerful that they kind of leave that whole realm of like
let me
power.
help you with my bugs.
Like, yeah,
You're like,
so,
what the fuck, dude? I can turn into a giant wolf.
But this right here,
that's not what Naruto does.
Like them doing callbacks to all the times Deku's helped someone, and like making sure his characters still like, even though they've left the power scaling of One for All, right? Like they're still useful and relevant here as like characters, which is what Naruto failed to do. So like I was a huge fan of this.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that, except for this whole fucking thing is about the class. It's literally called My Hero Academia, so obviously they would be characters, whereas Naruto is called what?
Naruto.
Yeah, so fuck everyone else besides Naruto.
I mean, they're both in school.
Let's go back to what I just said. Naruto, the show Naruto, or My Hero Academia. It's not even called Deku.
They both are blessed with special powers.
Okay.
They both have mentors. Okay. They both are introduced to
also special powers, just ninjas, dude. Oh no,
he's
right,
a Jinchuriki. He's also Jinchuriki of the strongest beast.
You're right. As soon as I said that, I was wrong.
And also, he becomes the sage of the sixth path. So, spoilers, but also like that's not a secret anymore.
What the fuck?
We're on the next. We're on the series after Shippuden at this point, which is actually wrapping up.
Yeah, good. Boruto sucks big old butthole.
I know people defend that, but oh my goodness!
And if you suck butthole and it's cool, then that's fine. I'm just
okay. All I'm saying is like they both Naruto and My Hero both introduced us like a shotgun of 1 billion characters, and only one of those shows maintained those relationships over the course of the show.
Yeah,
and
fucking
so far,
Naruto.
No. It's been freaking My Hero Academia.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Go away.
What? Brotherhood.
Go further away.
Okay.
If we want to do so I was actually someone actually asked me what my hottest anime take was, and this will probably like piss people off, but like here's the deal.
It's perfect to do it in the middle of what we're about to talk about.
I think Full Metal Alchemist is okay at best, and I think Brotherhood
the story. Have you read it? I
have watched the original.
Okay, fuck
I watched the movies. I watched Brotherhood. I have not read it because I didn't think it was good enough to read. So
this dude's a dumbass.
No, I just don't like. I don't. It's good. It's just not like that ending fight.
What's one of your favorite shows?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho sucks big old. Just kidding.
You can have that opinion.
I haven't watched it yet. I actually really want to watch it, and I bet it's honestly fucking really good.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's the guy that wrote Hunter x Hunter doing good work.
Yeah. Well, this was before Hunter x Hunter, right?
This is the series before Hunter x Hunter. Yeah.
So you know it's gonna be good. How have I not watched that?
I don't know. It's 90s,
insane to me.
But it's incredible. It's also got one of the greatest villains, I think, in anime.
Fuck.
Ever.
Okay, I'm gonna literally start watching it this week.
It also there's something that Mashal calls back to it that you probably wouldn't understand until you watch it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Because one of the villains in Mashal is a ripoff of the villain of. Well, not a ripoff, but like a reference to
reference, because that's kind of what it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's a fun take.
Yeah. For My Hero, let's do comments, then we'll do ratings. But we can do comments. I think
I do want to say this because I feel like I just shit on this episode this whole time. I did like a lot that everyone was like fighting with him. I will say this episode, you guys are gonna be like, why did you talk so much shit about it and then give it such a high rating? But the fact when Bakugo like literally talks. Like apologizes.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had tears coming out of my face.
Yeah, it is.
And then when he passes out and he just catches them, I was just like, fuck.
Like he runs up to catch him.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh,
I was like, dude, this is kind of what everyone's been wanting.
Yeah.
Like secretly down inside. There was a part of me that was like, oh, maybe like Bakugo will become a villain. Like kind of like Sasuke, right? I was like, maybe that's going to be the thing. But no, I felt like this rivalry that they built, they did it in such a good way, and now like they're friends. And you know,
Yeah.
and like, and in their own way, I'm sure he'll, you know, he's the dude. He's like, you know, like he's a fucking idiot or whatever, but he means it in like a way of love. So I don't know. I loved that. That
Yeah.
brought
No.
everything that I was bitching about. That eliminates when I'm doing my
I mean,
rating, because again,
yeah.
that part made the story amazing. I really don't like that they're going back to school. If they do something cool with it, cool. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So after next episode, we'll talk and we'll see like what people are like siding with and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't like the way that it is. I do feel like they could have gone with him as a vigilante, because guess what? Deku's kind of outrunning everyone else. They would just be his lackeys like the other guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like
there's an argument that like Deku's the strongest hero,
at
now, right?
1
like,
billion%.
like-
That's what they're
like,
saying right now.
Deku can beat Endeavor, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like you would think see it as a possibility. I think
What the fuck are you guys? Anyone who would think not that is insane, bro. He
I don't
has
know.
multiple quirks as a good guy.
Yeah, and Endeavor's been training the same quirk for 40 years. Like I get it.
Well,
I get
okay.
it. Like
Yeah.
all I am saying is I don't think it's as clear cut as
But
like
you know
Deku
what?
would win.
Well, it is. You want to know why?
Why?
Because literally Endeavor said that he's stronger already.
Yeah. That's
So
just,
like that-
that's
so like
Endeavor admitting something. That's not really like a contest of power right there. What I'm saying is a full Endeavor versus a full out Deku. It's not as far apart as I think at the moment as some would think.
Is that foreshadowing?
No, I don't think so.
That would be sick.
But I think like Endeavor could put up a fight against Deku. Now that being said, Deku could probably outlast Endeavor at this point because Endeavor can only go so hard before he burns himself, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What did you what? I just feel like okay, Black Whip would burn, right? Would Black
Yeah.
Whip burn if he got too hot?
No.
Or is Black Whip like
Black Whip is kind of like invincible, is what it feels like.
like it's unbreakable? Because I feel like
Yeah.
Shigaraki broke out of it technically, didn't he?
Did he break out of it, or did he kind of just like?
I don't know. Maybe he
That's
didn't.
a good point. I guess if you can break through something, like something could melt.
So
Yeah, I don't
right,
know.
and so like is his power, and like he's got enough battle experience to like know what a smoke screen's for, you know. Plus he can also probably create his own smoke screen to some. Probably not. He's probably not fast enough. You know, that's what it's going to come down to speed, huh?
Yeah,
He's not fast
especially
enough.
because Deku has super legs now.
Yeah,
or
he
whatever
has
part of his
Fajin.
body that
Never
he
mind.
wants.
I didn't even
to
think
crank
about
up.
Fajin for this, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like to me,
Yeah.
it's a hands down. Like he's becoming more and more like Superman or whatever.
yeah,
so
if
you're just like, cool, yeah.
If Endeavor took that Nagant kick, you know, like right to this tummy, that'd be it, huh?
I think so.
That Fajin
I
kick
think
right to the
so, man.
tummy. Yeah. All right, let's do comments. Let's do
Okay, comments.
Yep. Excellent episode, in my opinion.
Okay, Digimon 33880.
Welcome back to the show.
Holy shit, 13 has a face? I just always thought the helmet was her face. That actually took me by surprise. Me too.
Yeah.
As soon as
Hold
they-
on.
So do they do that in the manga?
I don't know. I don't remember that at all.
Because this is what I'm going to say. If you guys did not do that in the manga, I literally looked over to my wife and I was like, why the fuck would they show their face? I was like that ruins the entire fun of that hero. What the fuck
It's
are you
weird.
guys doing?
It's also weird that the person 13, the girl, it looks so unique and characteristic.
Except for
like,
it literally looks like it's
like purple
the
and pink
boar
hair,
guy.
isn't it? Oh, it looks like Inosuke. That's right.
It looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Inosuke, like motherfucker.
But like the hair's
also,
like pink
which
and
means
blue or whatever.
they stole that because this is out after. Give me a fucking
I think it's
break.
just a style.
No,
So,
I know. I mean, you can only draw faces that look different so many times.
It just yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I forgot that happened. That was weird. It also felt like irrelevant, but like
Well, yeah, they're
yeah.
like it's like this almost huge reveal, but it's like at a nothing
it's
moment.
treated like nothing. Yeah.
People are like, oh,
Yeah. Next comment. What weird stuff.
weird stuff. That's weird.
Weird stuff.
Damp Kit Kat says wholesome Bakugo makes me tear up low key.
Yeah, we all
It's
did.
high key for me, dog.
It's high key.
Denki telling Deku to take a bath.
Oh yeah. The lightning guy.
Oh, because he stinks. That's
Yeah,
right.
and like and so he gets caught in there with Dark Shadow around him and like captures him, right? And he's like, "You stink, man. Take a bath." I read that as Denji and not Denki at first, and I was like, "Denji? Who's
Dude, Denji's in this.
is Denji in this?"
Yeah, bro. He's looking for.
Yeah.
Never mind. I almost spoiled something so crazy for Chainsaw
Everyone.
Man. Oh my god. Okay. This will be my last one, I think. Egg Muncher, because they're all kind of saying the same thing. Egg Muncher 69, which is a great name. Bakugo's apology was so powerful. Love to see him getting some character development. Everything else is kind of just like,
yeah, that's fine. Good enough.
Here's your whatever.
I mean, so mine's a 10. I gave it a 10. You can give it your 8, 5.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9. That's fair, but it's a 10 for me. You're a weird 9. Give Tomo-chan a 10 and this a 9. It's weird.
No, it's not.
It's weird, man.
More character development in the other. Well, I guess.
Okay, hold on.
No, you're right. I don't know.
It's your choice. You give what
Look,
you give it. You know.
This entire episode, I would have if this episode to me would have been, I think, a little bit more.
It's bloated. It's a thick
yeah,
episode,
if it wouldn't
right?
have been
Like,
as bloated, and then like they would have maybe addressed more stuff at school, which they're going to address next that week. I think I could have given this like an 11 or a 12 or whatever. Yeah. But the 9 of this is really Bakugo. Like I can't express that enough. Like his whole thing. Like I probably would have rated this like a 6 or a 7 with if Bakugo would not have said anything. I for sure would have. I've been like, this episode sucked. Like they would have, they got him, like, whatever.
That's wild, man.
Well, Bakugo made it for me, because I'll be real.
I think he made it for a lot of people.
You know how you're talking, where we kind of talked about Naruto, and you're like, oh man, these like side characters, half the side characters you said, I was like, I don't even give a shit about them anyway. And that's kind of how I feel about half of the class.
Well, that's their choice to give a shit about them, but the show has done the work to actually connect them over the course of the show.
What about that little dude that's pervert with balls on his head?
He literally has a thing he tells Deku in this fight. Like, he literally has a thing he talks to him about.
No, I know. Okay, he has, what the fuck? He has one little thing, but he hasn't had any real character development throughout this entire thing.
Well, character development versus screen time, that's not really the question I'm going for. I am saying, like, you ignored your characters in Naruto versus you've actually bringing them in the story here. I'm not saying they all have development. Like, clearly, the show's not long enough to give every character development. That's just... Like the kid with the navel laser, you're not going to see him grow in character,
fuck
right?
That guy.
Like he's not going to grow.
He actually kind of want more of him, because I actually really liked him in like the first season, because he's like, oh yeah, I'm sour tummy, but I was like, I feel like you could actually have like a cool power. I
think the last thing we got with him was the provisional license.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, will I twinkle so bright because he has to be saved in the end?
Yes, dude.
Or will I still twinkle or whatever? Yeah.
Oh god.
But like, we're not going to get like development on that guy, and Minato, Minato, we're not going to get a gross amount of development either, but we're going to see him actually on screen. He's going to be consistently in the show, and that's what I want. I don't want characters introduced and left out after a while.
I get that.
Like imagine the guy that's in love with Carol Ko-chan. Mm-hmm. Imagine he was just gone from the show after this episode. Like they just never touch on it again. Yeah. Like that would be lame, right? Yeah. And I don't want that stuff like happening, and that's what Shippuden. That's my biggest problem with Naruto Shippuden, is that they kind of just drop every character and focus on Naruto and Sasuke. And in reality, it's about them. It is, but at the same time, you didn't have to introduce 45,000 characters and forget them. You didn't have to do that at all. So, 10 out of 10 for My Hero Academia. This episode for me.
Oh my god! All right, what are we doing next?
Bench Daddies.
Well, hello everyone. We're reading some Buddy Daddies.
I better read it along with you.
Sweat with sweat.
No
sweet with sweat, or
yeah,
no sweat
I think
with
it's,
sweet.
Wait. Let me read it one more time. It's no sweet without sweat.
Okay, no sweet without sweat.
I really hate this name.
I really fucking hate the English language.
And like, I think I probably lowered the rating of this episode
just because of that title.
Part of it was because the title was dumb as shit, but also there's other reasons. So,
Miri is practicing for the race happening on field day at the daycare. Ray makes sure a spot is saved for them. There's a ton of fun events for the parents to watch. Also, Kazuki calls a kid a bastard.
I don't know if you remember that, but there's a point where like they're doing like stretches and they're touching, and then she's like stretching the boy, and he goes, "You're a bastard!" And he like screams at this kid, and I'm like, "Dude, you can't do that at a daycare."
I also like how Ray was like, "We'll kill him," and he's like,
"Holy shit, these are kids, dude!"
Yeah. Ray made rice balls for lunch. During the race, Ray works up the courage to cheer on Miri. This startles Miri, though she trips and loses the race, completely discouraging Ray. However, in the final obstacle course, the family is able to win a gold medal, but nothing can save this episode, unfortunately, from feeling like filler, despite how cute it is.
Now, that's my opinion. But
oh no, we got to talk about this.
But so you'll see the top comment on this one, and I'll read it off later. There's a fan theory that like how it's like mad at the community because they're mad about the filler about the recap episode last week, and then he goes like, I don't understand why you guys. I don't understand when you get through your thick skulls. Like people are doing those recap episodes because something happened at the studio, like not because like they planned it. And it's like, well, first off, you're trying to defend when you don't even know either. So no matter what the situation is, there was a recap last week that took the pacing out of the whole series for us for that week, right? Like it just kind of
Absolutely.
like, whoa, hold on, we were on a roll.
It totally derailed everything.
And like whatever happened in the studio, like, it sucks. But you're also in the entertainment industry, and like your goal is to keep us entertained, and that's why we'll keep consuming your product.
Well, okay.
Like there's grace here and there, obviously, but like, and stuff happens, but like you can't be mad if you're gonna put that out.
I will say this: if there was something genuine, I'm not mad. I personally am not. I'm not mad at something like that.
I would just say it's like, well,
but let us fucking know. Let the fans know. Like Crunchyroll should because it's Crunchyroll's shit. So they should be like, hey guys, sorry, blank happened, and it's gonna be a recap episode. Then people go, sure. You'll still have some people go, what the fuck? But then most people who are confused would be like, okay, we get it because we care about you guys and how you're doing, and
yeah,
you know what I mean.
So like people being mad at a recap episode to me makes sense because like we don't know.
Right. But say what you're about to say because I agree with you.
But don't go and defend it also. But the problem is
yes,
the episode that came after that is an episode that has zero. There's not much to this episode outside of Ray.
This was the episode that we needed instead of the fucking yes.
This is nothing happens in this episode of growth. Like I get that like there's potential for growth for Ray coming out of his shell, but Ray comes out of his shell for a split second and then doesn't. And then the only reason he's able to even go with the race is Miri drags him. So there's like not really any growth here, especially when you're talking about like when Ray had to kill his previous mentor and the growth he was dealing with then.
Yeah.
And now you have this and you're like, this is a fat wad of nothing. Like it's cute. Like it's really cute. I'll give it that.
It's very cute. I honestly did like love when Ray like cheers her and then she's
me
like,
too.
Whoa, and trips, and I was like, God damn, this is a good moment. But like I was really at the end I was going, man, like this would have been a very highly rated episode if they would have put this in the beginning. Or even last week. Probably not last week. If they would have put this like an episode or two like ago, you know what I mean? Like kind of like before, kind of in the mix of when they were doing
episode 5, episode 6, and then do your crazy backstory stuff.
Yeah, like because they started going somewhere with the show, and you're like, okay, like what the fuck? This is gonna be kind of crazy, and then they derail it with the recap, and then they derail it more with this, and then being like, the only thing I can think is this. This is the story progression. I think that the bartender, even though he's the one that gives out the jobs, has been given the job to kill them because there are pictures of them all playing that he was given by the other guy, which usually would be reversed because the other guy asked first. So that means he should be giving pictures to that guy. And since it's reversed, I think the main boss is like, fuck that guy, like kill these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again, like I understand where you're going with that. My only pushback against it is this show has 2 episodes left, I think.
Yeah.
And
she's going to get kidnapped and then they're going to rescue her. That's episode.
We spent 1 episode doing this. This like honestly,
bro, can I tell you
the
real
main
quick?
plot should have
5.
started here. 5?
I'm only going to tell you right now. This is a 5 or a 6.
Oh yeah, this is pretty low for me too. But all I'm saying is like the episode that is here, like this should have been used to start a main plot, but because it wasn't, it makes me think that whatever main plot there is probably going to be really like they'll include that bald or that whatever that assassin's guy name is. They never give us a name, right? They introduced him, didn't give us a name. What the hell? I'm still annoyed by that. There is a bad guy that we have no idea what to call him.
Look, anyways, I'll be real. Is this Licorice Recoil? Absolutely
no, not even close. Like it
Absolutely
started. Well, if you would ask me that like 2 weeks ago, I would have said 100% yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I probably would have too.
If you would ask me that when we saw Ray's backstory of having to kill his mentor, I would have been and I would have been with you 100%. Having 2 weeks since then and seeing a recap and this episode, it's a fat no. It is a hard no.
Well, yeah, because they didn't deviate at all in Rickles.
And Recoil. And I enjoyed the episode. It just has zero weight. Like the only thing I could think that could have weight is the photo that was taken of them. But what would it do? It would just take off.
No, that's kind of key, I think, because literally
it.
Ray or whoever says, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Because someone sees us like we're kind of fucked, and then they go, "Oh, it's fine," and then there's like a ton of pictures of them together.
Right.
Like,
But the bad guy that we've been introduced to so far, if we're to assume bad guy, he's the bad guy, already had a photo of her and Kazuki.
That's a good point.
So like that's not an issue there. All he needs to be done. All that needs to happen is someone to give him the killing order, and maybe this is what happens. This is what leads to it. But if it was going to lead to that, maybe better foreshadowing.
Yeah, you know what I think is going to happen? I'm going to call this. The bartender guy is going to think about doing it.
Q-chan.
I think so. And they're all over there doing whatever, and he can't do it, but he's getting watched by the other guy. So the other guy literally comes in to kill them, and he blasts the other guy, but he doesn't kill him. But then that guy kills the bartender for sure. But the bartender is dead next episode, hands down.
Yeah, Q's dying before the show ends. There's just no way. Q's going to side with Kazuki and Ray over the organization. It's going to get him killed. That's whatever, you know. But you're for sure right on that. I don't know however else it's going to play.
That's what, dude. I'm going to try to call it this whole episode. He dies. Maybe the other guys are injured, or maybe they're just in a place where they can't. So the other assassin's injured, grabs Miri, dips. End of that episode. Next episode is them rescuing her. If there's 13 episodes, then they're gonna double it.
I would bet they're all injured at some point.
Yeah,
obviously. But
this is the thing. I really don't. I thought in the very beginning they have done a lot less killing. I mean, it's still there.
Right.
I thought that maybe they'd kill these guys, and maybe even Miri or whatever. But I'm like, that's almost way too dark of where it's at now.
Yeah.
Like it started off where I was like, yeah, you could for sure go there, and it got to a point where it's not like that. I will say this, and then let's be done with it. I do miss the dark comedy of it.
Yeah, me
where
too.
like they would be like, oh no, we need to do this thing and go to school. You know,
yeah,
blast
like, yeah, me too.
So
this show's kind of turned a weird leaf. So
yeah, it's turned a weird leaf. Okay, let's go. What do you got for comments, baby?
Some comments real quick. Yeah, it'll be just a second as I pull it up, and I did not have this ready at all.
It will be just a second.
3, 2,
let me
1.
show you my bum.
Okay, so Danir Inashi, welcome back once again.
Danir Inachi?
Yeah, the family card completely melted my heart. That's in reference to the obstacle race that said "Bring your family to cross the line." Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, it's cute. Again, a lot of cute moments.
Yeah.
This would have been literally probably a 9.
Yeah.
If it was like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Yeah. Yours truly, XXII. This is in reference to when that kid was touching Miri, and he goes, "He dies." LMFAO. That's Ray talking about that kid. Devil of the Shield. If anything bad happens to this family, I will never trust anime again. I don't really feel that way, but I understand. And then Thrillmar, last one. I pray for a happy ending.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're going to get a happy ending.
You're going to get a happy ending, though. I only say that one because it's not going to be a bad ending.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's too happy-go-lucky. I'll probably drop it at 6 or 6.5 in that range. Probably 6, yeah.
All right, I'll give it 6, too.
Yeah, I just
Very cute. A lot of moments that I genuinely liked and felt like heartfelt. Like, genuinely, like, when Ray did that and I was like, oh... It doesn't belong at episode 10.
Like, if this was Bluelock, this would be like Isagi, like, becoming the best in Bluelock and then going back to play soccer with high schoolers.
Yeah, it's like an episode where they're like, all right, everyone, you get a week off of Bluelock. And then he's like, oh, I get to play soccer with my high school
Or maybe it's like
again.
in between a match. That's what it does. And you're like, this is dumb.
What
like,
the fuck?
Yeah, keep it moving. It's like just, again, like I think we've talked about this before, the pacing of this show is not perfect.
No.
So that's what it is. This episode just kind of cemented that. But let's move on to Bluelock, because Bluelock.
What is the referee? The famous referee?
VAR.
Bluelock!
I'm sorry. I'm reading Bluelock, aren't I? That's right.
Sorry.
You're good. Bluelock. This episode is called Voice. Our game continues for a third episode. We start off strong with Isagi devising up a way to devour Rin, bringing the score to 4-4 with a sick backheel shot. We next move on to our final phase of everyone being tired and still trying to score. However, this moment is primarily used to showcase Bachira and the monster. Bachira finally chooses to forsake the monster and Isagi, focusing on becoming a true egoist. He does a triple nutmeg, which is crazy, and goes for the shot. However, Isagi is there to rain on his parade.
He can nut on my Meg anytime.
Okay.
I meant to say Meg on. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
neither way you say is good.
Yeah.
My bad, everyone.
So let's do the first goal of this episode. So loved this. Absolutely loved this moment. Chills. And I think it's probably because no one saw the knot thing, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck are you talking about?
So when he's so he gets by the goal to take a shot into the goal, and
Yeah.
Rin's chasing up to him, and he's like super depressed.
Oh.
He goes, "I'm never gonna find a way to beat him." And then the screen fades to black, and he goes, "Not." Yeah, that moment. Is
Well, dude, so there's a part of me I'm like, oh, fuck.
Pick
Like,
up.
what's he going to do to come back? Or did he know? And then when it went and he says not, I was like, of course. I was like, yeah. Dude.
and
Yeah,
it is
so good.
is such a fire moment with the soundtrack kicking off too, and he does a back heel into the goal, which is gotta be super hard, dude.
So cool, though, dude.
This sometimes Bluelock just becomes the show of like, yeah, everyone's good enough physically. It's mentally. Like they'll always execute their stuff. It's just mentally they have to get there.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's how
man.
it feels.
I feel like, too, because and this is probably because I don't know soccer super well or football. But, like, every single time someone kind of grows, like even Bachira, like when he grows, I was like, how are you guys gonna grow him? He's already so good and so amazing. Like I don't understand how you can grow these characters. And then they go and then they kind of explain like the technicality of what they're doing along with like the passion or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit! Like I didn't even think of that. And I'm like, it totally makes sense. It's not weird. It's not super bizarre. But I will say, I think this is a source of tension. I've heard with the manga fans.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot of. Yeah.
It's because they feel like, you know how like to me watching this I'm like, wow, this is like super anime soccer, right? Like they're like kicking the ball super hard, but in the manga supposedly like it's drawn almost written like superpowers, like when they're making goals and stuff like that. So like some people are like, I want that, like I want the feeling of like this insanely epic, but from someone who hasn't read it, it feels that way.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm gonna read it, but like it does legitimately feel like I feel great when they're making goals. I like lose my shit. I'm like,
well, so it's like the anime is more of a soccer anime, and then the manga is more of a straight up shonen with superpowers. That's probably what it feels like. But like I don't know the differences. I haven't read it either.
I know. I'm kind of excited to read it.
Yeah, all I can say is that like I have thoroughly enjoyed this anime experience, despite some rough CGI. Which is really, to me, the only flaw of this show is the CGI.
I will say this. If this show does not fix their CGI next season, because I know you motherfuckers are getting a big pay increase.
We hope.
Well, no. This is, I feel like for sport animes, this has to be the #1 sport anime now. I feel like it has to be in
terms
Haiku.
of, like, popularity right now, I mean, Haiku has got a massive following still. Bluelock has only had this last season to plant its roots.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the manga itself exploded during the World Cup.
Right.
It's not called that, is it? Is it
World
World Cup?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was baseball.
That's the World Series.
You're right. Okay, I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you're good.
I'm glad.
You're good.
Too many world shit.
Seriously. Yeah, it has
kinda lost
exploded
my
popularity.
shot.
It probably is bigger than Haiku.
I
I haven't looked that up, and I couldn't.
I
speak
can almost
confidently.
guarantee there's going to be season 2, and you're going to have a little bit more money. Look. I get it. You guys are focusing on the soccer shit. Honestly, please keep doing that. If you don't have the budget or whatever to do that, that's fine. Don't do it. Like, it's fine. It's in the. It really, to me, I'm just like, okay, fuck, that's there. And it will kind of pull me out for a sec. But the story and animation and like the moments is so good. I don't give a shit. If those were 3D, I would give a shit.
I think,
but the fact that they're just like, oh no, they're running down the field, or like this is like the referee guy. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so I think for me it comes down to if they're able to put out this anime's seasons consistently, year by year or year and a half by year and a half, I don't care how they get it out. If it has a little bit of CGI in here, whatever.
Oh, there's
it's
almost
fine.
a guarantee. I
But
feel like we're going to get a winner.
If this show takes like 2 years to get a season 2 or 2.5 years to get a season 2, then I would be very frustrated if it came back with the same visual quality. That's all I'll say. I know it's been confirmed already, but I just there's no release date, right?
I don't know. I thought there was.
No. Beyond the rough CGI is the only flaw of this show. That's literally it to me. I don't think there's another issue. This episode, though, back to the
let's go back.
Let's continue on with the episode. But like the heel shot was amazing. The rest of the episode, the latter half of it.
No, you fucking assholes!
What did it say?
Disney, you fucking cunts! I will remove that. They bought it. They bought it.
Oh yeah. So they're guaranteeing funding to it. So
No, they
hopefully
bought
that
the
means,
distribution
Right.
rights. They didn't do anything for them besides just
right. Distribution rights guarantees funding also.
dude.
Yeah. So distribution will guarantee that the publishing studio will put a good amount of money behind it, because if Disney has it, that basically means it's going to go to every TV. Right? Like of course we don't want Disney buying more shit. That's fine. I get it. I'm with you on that one. But at least we can be guaranteed it has money going to it. And that's what we want.
Man, I really thought I hated Disney before, but like,
No, dude, Disney's the worst company in the world. Like, people that like Disney scare me. But anyways, moving on. Let's get back. Let's get back to this, Joel.
I'm so mad. Okay, yeah, let's get back to the good stuff. But wait, let me click this. You say the one thing that you were saying. I'm gonna see if it.
I was gonna
'cause
say.
I think this is gonna say what the date is.
The latter half of the episode is really Bachira's moment to shine. Basically, everyone takes a little bit of a back seat, but what?
No date.
No, I didn't
They
think
said earliest 2024, and I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah, it's gonna be next year no matter what.
Okay,
It's like it's
never
just
mind.
when is it next year? Is it gonna be 2025? Like a dumbass?
No,
like it's
I hope
delayed.
not.
So it needs to be next year to me too.
Yeah.
So like the rest of this is actually just Bachira's moment. Like it's
so good.
It's really good, and there are some complaints in the comments about this feeling bloated, like overly flashbacky. I never saw that.
Nah.
But
It's
I
the
think,
right amount, man.
well, and I think part of that is because they wrote Bachira so well. Like he's
Dude.
such a likable character in this
Yes.
anime to me.
I mean, to be honest, I would, if this show is like, oh, guess what? You have to watch the show without either Asagi or Bachira. I'd probably watch the show without Asagi, even though there's also part of me that thinks I'd probably just get rid of Bachira too.
I'd take Asagi or Bachira.
I know, because I like the
like-
story of his more, but I
Well-
just love Bachira as a character. Like, I just don't want him gone. Like, he's like,
yeah. No,
you
no.
know?
I think this
the
episode cements
boy.
that Bachira's getting picked. That's in my opinion. But
you think he's gonna get picked?
I think this show cements that. This episode
Oh no,
cements that.
shit!
Like,
There's no way he's not getting picked.
Like they're not going to pick Rin. They're obviously not
fuck
going to
would
pick.
they need him
They're not
if
going to
he
pick
goes-
Aryu or Tokimitsu. Although
No.
Tokimitsu would be really good to have on your team. So
Well, no, you have Baru. This is what I think. This is what I think is going to happen.
Tokimitsu outdoes Baru every time.
Well, no. You're right. But what I think this is going to do is make Baru, because Baru. This whole thing is, if this is the team of 5, every single one of these 5s has to grow even more.
Yes.
Right? Because they're going to face harder opponents. I think Baru's next, is because he got guarded by this buff as fuck. He's like, oh yeah, I can use my muscles maybe more like I think that's gonna be his next evolution, is that way, is strength.
I don't think that's where he's going.
Really?
Personally,
That's all he needs. He's a cannon.
I think he's.
All he needs is that boom. He just found someone who's stronger
I think
than him.
he's gonna. My.
You think he's gonna get faster? Like,
no. I think he's gonna gain a mental ability to kind of keep up with Asagi in terms of how to attack him better. That's what my thought is.
Oh,
He just
that'd be
learns to
fun.
take advantage of Asagi more.
I do just love. I mean,
So-
maybe Baru's not a great example because I do feel like they are
Like
gonna.
Jagiri. Let's go over Jagiri, like the running guy.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I guess he's gonna run even faster.
Like,
he's
well,
the weakest link to me.
but
in
he
the whole
evolved.
group.
He evolved last match.
Yeah,
and
but
against
the no
Asagi.
touch. That's what he evolved
Right,
into.
he evolved
still
to-
touching.
to maintain his speed while dribbling.
So then, what else could you do to maintain speed?
I think he's going to learn how to control and chop feint pretty well too.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is
like
part
I think
of it.
I think him learning how to chop feint at a high speed is like his peak.
You know, it'd be interesting, and I think it'll be more Bachira, but if, like, you know how, like, sometimes, and this really only works on people who don't really know how to play soccer well, but, like, you can pass the ball almost off the enemy to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think
there's a part of me
Bachira's-
that think Bachira will learn that
Yeah.
at some point,
But, like-
where it's like, that's like a thing, and you're like, shit, dude, like,
Yeah.
that's going to get a goal
or
at
will
some point.
Nagi do that? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you got Nagi
Yeah.
too. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
exciting, bro. God.
Yeah, I think Bachira evolving in this match guarantees. My theory last week was off, right? So my theory last week was that Rin would use Baro's ability to steal, and then that would go to Bachira, and then Bachira would evolve, and then or no, it was that Bachira would evolve, Rin would steal it from Bachira,
Right.
which is what happened. It turns out that Bachira actually saw this monster at Rin, which means that Rin was not the right choice to even pass to, and it seemed like Bachira kind of forsook Rin a little bit too in the moment, but he did evolve. He did completely outpace every person on the field,
Yes,
including his own teammates, right? And then triple nutmegged 3 gods of to be honest, Chigiri is incredible, right?
Oh yeah,
he's the best person that was on that team.
Yeah, and the fact that he got through Nagi is like the main thing, right? So he got through Baru, which again is impressive with his strength and speed.
Yep.
And then Nagi for sure because of his skill.
Yeah.
So
the anime came out hard though when Nagi grabbed him, and then Bachira does like a 4 twist in midair. Yeah, he spins.
And I also love Bachira's eyes now.
Yeah,
were way different than
black
everyone
and yellow?
else's. The black
Well,
irises or whatever.
Baro's black and red.
Oh, yes, true. That is true. Baro's
goes,
is like that too.
But it's like
You're
interesting.
right.
No,
It's different. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's on purpose. I think they're trying to say something with it. Because Asagi's learning that he doesn't really have a monster, quote unquote. That's what Bachira called it. He has this, he's almost like humanizing his thing. Whereas Bachira, or for sure Baru is like, I'm the villain, I'm the beast that will devour you. Like that's his whole, that's his main thing. And I think Bachira is a little bit more like wild. I almost feel like it means wild, whereas his eyes are like that. Like it's like this desire, but it's like this almost tamed desire.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
No,
that's the vibe I'm getting.
How'd you feel about the soundtrack for Bachira?
Fucking so good.
Like what was that?
I don't know.
It came in out of nowhere, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this like?"
Dude, what the fuck?
Crazy theme.
I mean, I had goosebumps literally the entire episode almost, and I was like,
"Yeah,
man."
I also love that. I love that Isai got to the point where he rebuilt himself in this last moment while Bachira was rebuilding himself and was able to stop Bachira.
And the whole idea was he's like, I knew that you were going to rebuild yourself to get to this point.
And you were going to take the goal yourself, because the last time you did this, you took the goal yourself as well. Like, historically, that's what Bachira's done.
Right.
Remember when Bachira was facing against Nagi, Reo, and Zentetsu?
Right.
And outdid those 3?
Yeah.
And then just lobbed the ball over the goalie? It's like, this is the same scenario, right? Like,
yes, it is. You're right. I didn't even really fully think of that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's like, Isagi's like, I got to devour this guy. I know exactly what he's going to do. He did it before. So, yeah, excellent. You want to do comments?
No.
Well, we get to it. We got to get to streaming soon because we're a little behind.
So far, actually, I told everyone 8:30.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Never mind.
That's kind of what I'm going to start saying, even though we are a little late for that almost. Yeah. Lindell123 says, foul cliffhanger.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, at the same time, not really. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we know that they're going to counter and get the goal. I just don't know how they're going to do it.
Actually, nah. It would be crazy if they won. If they lost. They're not going to. But they were not. But that would be crazy.
Isagi's too built up after this.
Harris739 says, that knot sent chills down to my goddamn toes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Hika? Like, he does that? It's so good, dude. So good.
Toshiba said, egoist Bachira went crazy, by God.
There's not too many more comments for you to go through.
And let's do this last one.
I read most of them already. Multiple times, probably.
Nah, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, man. And
obviously, Anime
for
of the
me,
Week.
it's Anime of the Week, too. And, like, it's close with My Hero. And
this is really close with Tomo for me.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But my Bluelock is just like, it's just completely
This is
devoured
a league
me.
above everything
Like,
this week to me.
Isagi can come devour me whenever he wants. He's in high school. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Bluelock has devoured me. How about we go there?
Popo's coming.
Slip of the tongue. Yeah, so I don't know. Excellent episode. Excellent week.
Amazing.
I think Buddy Daddies just really pissed me off.
Buddy Daddies fucking sucked.
Which is
it's a good episode. It's just, again, it's frustrating with where the pacing is and where it's at.
If I was to, yeah, it's the lowest for a reason. Follow us on Instagram, Spotify. That was weird. Follow us on Instagram. Like our posts, interact with us, engage with us, talk to us. We'll always talk back. Like and rate us on Spotify. We want more reviews on Spotify.
True, it does help.
Rate us on and Apple
in Apple.
Music,
We're
but-
not. I mean, we don't really. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're on there, so if that's the platform you use, do that. That helps.
And then subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yes.
And also
On Twitch.
on
baby.
Twitch, because we're going to be on Twitch every Tuesday.
Yeah.
So see you there.
Bye. See you
All right.
there.
Love you.
Love
Talk to you
you.
guys soon. Bye.
Bye.